Hello, Matthew Williams here with a quick video to try and set the record straight, because it's being alleged to me that Tim Carson and Josh Carson have got the idea that I was sending some sort of negative vibes through to them about possibly physical violence. And, you know, with all this stuff with the quadcopter you've heard about, I'm gonna deal with this. I'm making a nice little response video, and you'll have that later on. But it's come to my attention that people are starting to spread this thing on the internet. I've even heard Charlie Mallet in one of his videos. He keeps on using the word thug, that I'm a thug and I'm thuggish. And you know what thug? Do you know what my interpretation of thug is? Somebody who threatens violence or who is violent. That's my interpretation of the word thug. Okay, we could look it up in the dictionary, but I'm sure it's not going to be far off that. Yeah, thug is somebody who is violent or threatens violence. I have never threatened violence to anyone in the crop circle community. I have never threatened it, and I have never done it. Okay? Now, I think there is a slight mix-up in information here, because there was a certain circle maker who left the area in 2012 under a very big dark cloud after he did a lot of naughty things, including smashing up not just one but a couple of premises that he was living at. And he was living on a boat in the end, okay, and he smashed up that boat belonging to a lady who kindly let him live there. And everywhere, everybody that gave him trust and everywhere that gave him shelter, he basically shat on, you know. And you know, in the end he went to live in Essex with another circle maker, and I warned this circle maker not to have him, because I said he will smash your house up. He has a history of doing this. Don't let him stay with you. And this circle maker said, no, that won't happen. Don't worry. So circle maker and his son and their dog went down to Essex and subsequently smashed the guy's house up, smashed the windows, police called, the works, yeah? Still owing the guy money, which you'll probably never see, you know, for his windows of his house. So this is that particular circle maker who has a bit of a problem with keeping his temper down, right? And by the way, snuff, okay? Not drugs, well, nicotine, okay? So I want to set the record straight with Tim Carson and Josh Carson, because it's come to me by way of people seeing comments on the internet and hearing rumours that apparently Tim Carson and Josh Carson think that I was threatening them in some way. I think they're getting mixed up here, because, listen, I haven't made any crop circles. I keep telling people this, right? I haven't made any crop circles. I made one when my mum passed away. I made one circle, and it was, you know, the basket weave one, not the basket weave in Bishop's Cannings, but I've kind of talked about it, but that was it, you know. That's the only circle I've kind of made. And, you know, please, trust me, I don't want to make crop circles anymore. I get asked a lot and I don't want to do it. And the reason I don't want to do it is because I get hay fever, and, you know, I did 20 years of making crop circles, and, you know, I've done my best to hand the torch on to the new people, the positive new people, hopefully, the people who don't go around throwing their weight around. But unfortunately, this particular circle maker, I put a TV crew in touch with him, because I can't be arsed with doing these TV programs. I mean, you know, they wanted to follow a circle maker around for a year, like a year in the life of a circle maker, and I just said, you know what, I ain't got the time for this shit, you know. It's too invasive, it's too much, you know. I said, look, go and speak to a new circle maker, go and speak to this guy, you know. And he was up for it. You know, I asked Julian Richardson, but he was kind of getting out of making circles. He was making the sand circles. I asked him if he wanted to do it. He said no. And he was my first choice, you know, but because he's the best, you know, he's one of the best guys out there. And he's a very nice guy, and he's very mild-mannered, you know, so he would have been great on the show, because it would have been out about his art, and it would have been out him. And anyway, so I gave it to Terry, and I thought I might be making a slight mistake here by doing this, because Terry is a bit of a live wire, and unfortunately it went straight to his head, the thought that he was going to have a TV program dedicated about himself, and it went right to his head. And T then went and said he was gonna he was going to basically make loads of circles to piss the farmer off, the local farmer being Tim Carson. And he basically targeted Tim Carson, and subsequently, you know, you saw the results of this, because there were multiple circles appearing in all of Tim's fields. Now, the background story to this is T and his son, they fight like, you know, like they're spitting feathers, you know, and it's like bombs going off. They're always fighting. They were fighting when they were staying in the campsite behind the barge. They're fighting in the houses where they're doing damage to houses, you know, and they're basically a very bad little pair. But the bottom line is that what had happened is, and I won't tell you the background to this because it's not cool. It is not cool. These are the stories you don't need to know. You shouldn't need to know. But I need to set the record straight because I'm getting blamed for some of this, right? So I'm going to tell you how this came about. Okay. T and his son were in some sort of argument. T's son was, let's put it like this, very, very inebriated. And I think he might have been underage at that point as well, so he shouldn't have even been drinking. Yeah? So, that said, his son decided to go and smash up his father's car in the main campsite, main car park site of the Barge Inn. So he started smashing it up with a circle-making board or a hammer or something. He was smashing the doors, the windows, the headlights, bang, 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 kicking it, and basically having what you would call a total and utter fucking freak-out. Okay, now that's what these two do when they're together. It's like nitro and glycerine. Shake them up and throw it at the floor and it goes boom. Yeah, that's what they do. Okay, now bear in mind that there was this TV program thing going on, and they were looking for some sensationalist angle to go on TV, and unfortunately T didn't look that interesting, even though he was making circles and he was doing stuff, and he wanted to tell the TV program about how he puts all his Nephilim dark weird magic symbols into it, and it's all this, and I think they were going yeah, it's not that interesting really, and he seemed like a bit of a prick, but nonetheless, you know, they said, well, have you got anything a bit more, you know, have you got any sort of angles we can put back to Channel 4 so we can see if there's anything that we can do? And this was his master plan. Okay, check this out for a master plan. He thought it would be a good idea to, on TV, basically have a fight with a farmer for the TV crew to film. Okay, and he thought this would be a great idea and sent it back up to the producers, who then had a chat with Channel 4 about it, and Channel 4 came back and said, have a guess what Channel 4 said? No, because they didn't want to be legally involved in enticing somebody to have a physical fist fight on camera for Channel 4, because there might be some legal problems with that. Yeah. But this is what T thought was going to be a great idea. So T's plan was that he was going to make as many circles on that farmer's land that he targeted, Tim Carson. He was going to make them on his land, and he was going to basically wait there for Tim to arrive, or his son, in their Range Rover or whatever, their bloody vehicle, you know, turn up in the morning and go, oh, look at this crop circle. And T would come out with a camera crew secretly filming, and he would have a fist fight with the farmer. Now, it's coming to my attention, I mean, it's a bloody awful idea. What do you reckon? Idea for a TV show? Not cool, yeah? Idea for promoting circle makers? Fucking awful, yeah? Really, really bad idea, yeah? And the only reason I'm bringing it to you now is because I am being accused of being a thug, right, on Charlie Mallett's videos. And he keeps on going, oh, Matthew Williams the thug. Now, somehow, somebody in their twisted little logic, and I can fully understand how they've done this, right, probably on purpose. They're trying to say that I was working with T. Now that isn't true, okay? I wasn't working with T, and I basically advised him that I thought what he was about to do, or was trying to do, was not only stupid, but was going to bring a very bad name to circle makers if he did it. Okay? But that didn't stop him, because he still wanted to do it because he thought he knew best and he was going to do it. So I have no control over T. Okay? I have no control over him whatsoever. And to be perfectly honest, when he fucked off in 2012, after he destroyed the barge, the boat he was living on, yeah, I said, good fucking riddance. Because, to be perfectly honest, that is one negative influence we do not need. Okay? I don't like the designs that he was starting to do, and the types of stuff he was trying to instill in it. It wasn't exactly what you could call love, light and harmony. Not that many people would have interpreted them in the way that he was intending them to be put down. I think a lot of people would have thought they were just nice little circles, but that's not what he was trying to put in them. Now, okay, I am shitting on him here, but oh, has he shit on me? He's shit on me in ways that I'm not going to go into. T and me, we do not get on now, right? And when he left, I was glad to see him go, and I thought he would never come back, and I was praying that he never would. Unfortunately, this year, he is back. Thankfully, he's not doing them on Tim's land now. Maybe some of that's sunk in, I don't know. But what he was doing in 2012 is he was working with Steve Alexander. And Steve Alexander was paying him money for tip-offs of where he was going to do these designs so Steve could get there first. And what happens in this year? The same designs start turning up. So we kind of go, oh, well, you don't have to be telepathic here to think that T is back in town. Yeah? And who's getting to all these formations before anyone else? Steve Alexander. So, is it too much to imagine that in the same thing that was happening when T actually told us that he was being paid by Steve Alexander and that Steve was putting money in his bank account and that he needed to have lifts to go to the bank every time Steve was putting money in there? He needed to be given a lift to the bank in Pusey because he didn't have a car because his son had smashed his car up. Yeah? Did I mention that? I don't know if I meant... I think I mentioned it, didn't I? His son, like, off his... Yeah, had too much to drink, smashing his dad's car up. So ultimately, T couldn't travel, so he used to walk to the only fields he could, which were Tim Carson's fields, yeah? So he was walking to those fields and doing stuff in those fields, allegedly, yeah? And then he wanted to have this fist fight, yeah? So, Steve... back in 2012, when he was doing all this, when he was antagonising the farmer, sending the word out to the farmer, come to the field because I'm going to fight you, and he was sending those signals out, T was sending those signals out, he wanted the farmer to know that he wanted to fight with him, he wanted to blat his fields with loads and loads of formations so that the farmer was going to be very, very angry, so that when they eventually had this confrontation, that he could be caught on film. Wow, isn't that really clever? Right? Now, I'm getting the blame for this. I am getting the blame for this. Okay? Now, I have never threatened anybody. Show me, tell me, please, in the comments, tell me, or contact me privately, tell me, where have I ever made a threat of physical violence or enacted physical violence? Forget this stuff with Gary King, because you're going to see some stuff about Gary King later on. I'm going to give you a little taster here, right? Of Gary King. I'm going to give you a little taster. This was recorded on my phone, right? And let's just
Stop squashing the quadcopter.
Right? He's in the back of my car. Why is Gary King?
Stop squashing my quadcopter and get out of my car. Right, I'm phoning the police.
Right? Why is he in the back of my car? Why is Gary King? This is just one of several videos I've got on here, right? Why is Gary King in the back of my car? Why is he pressing himself up against my quadcopter trying to squash it? Right? Now, you will have noticed, right, and you'll see it all full later on, right? I don't lay a finger on Gary, right? I don't even put a hand on him to remove him, right? I don't even do that, yeah? Because that could be considered assault, right? So I don't do anything to this guy. But you're being told that I was the thug in that situation, and I guarantee you, please, trust me, yeah? You wait till later on. You are going to see Gary King like you've never seen Gary King before. This forget this, right? If you don't like this, right, and you're not going to believe this, trust this, because this will show you a different side to Gary King. But what I am concerned about, right, is that now they're trying to pull in this rumour that I was threatening Josh and Tim, you know, when it was T all along. It was never me. It was never me. And I haven't made circles since my arrest in 2000, apart from one when my mum passed away. And that's it, you know. Come on. Yeah. I mean, I don't... Why would I have to lie about this? If I was a circle maker, I'd just say, fuck you all. Yeah. I mean, come on. You know me. Yeah. If I was making circles, I'd say, fucking catch me. Yeah. Catch me if you can. I'm not making circles. I gave it up. I get hay fever and I take photos now. I take photos of them, and I am not a violent person. I do not advocate violence, and I've never threatened anyone. And if you have any information which says I have, please post it in the comments, because I would like to contact the people who say that I've done this, and I would like to find out what they're on about, and I would like to chat with them about it, because it's not true. Yeah, I've never made any threats. And I'm really sad, and I have spoken about this, but I'm really sad that people feel the need to spread rumours about me which aren't true in order to further their ends, which is to tell people that we are bad people, right? Okay? I don't advocate violence. So, Tim, there's the real story. Somebody pass this on to Tim Carson, please. Right? I want him to see this video because I want him to know that even though I might disagree on land rights, right, and I don't like the use of chemicals, and I don't like agricultural factory farming, okay, that aside, right, I have never threatened him, and I have never threatened his family with any form of violence whatsoever. And it was not me. I have not made any circles since 2000, so anything that's appeared on your land, especially lots of them, bang, 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 which appeared in a short space of time, which might have had something to do with the fact that he decided he was going to cut them out, right? That all happened because of T, okay? Allegedly happened because of T, I think. I'm guessing, okay? Without any evidence, I'm guessing. Yeah, that's T. And also, whilst you're putting that in your pipe and smoking it, right, bear in mind that whilst all that was happening, Steve Alexander was bankrolling the situation, right, which led to the cutting out of all the circles. So why was Steve Alexander giving money to the circle maker T, who was at the time going loopity-loopity-loo, taking certain things and going loopity-loo and wanted to have fisticuffs with farmers? Why was Steve bankrolling that particular situation? Now that's pretty twisted, isn't it, folks? So, Tim, put that in the pipe and smoke it. Crop circle community, jam it in your pipe or your bong and smoke it, because them's the facts. Allegedly. So thank you very much for watching.